So I bought this Heng Long Sherman M4A3 model tank, and so what happened was I was putting all the accessories on, and including these little lift hooks, which are on this one of these sprues that you get with it, and they all go in quite tightly to the tank, but um, there was one that goes on the top of the turret here, and it was quite loose. So I just kind of put it in place, and then I was putting on the other parts, and I put on this hatch on the side of the turret. Was required a little bit of force to press it in, so I did, and it snapped in very suddenly, and the lift hook here popped off, and I didn't know where it went. I didn't see where it went. Um, and so I looked around the carpet, and it wasn't there. I looked around the carpet with the torch, it wasn't there. So I was thinking, where could it possibly have gone? And I was thinking, like, it can't really have gone in here or here because these were closed. And the only other possibility was maybe it went inside the mantlet here, and there is a little gap there in the mantlet. So that seems to be. I actually just left it at that for a while. I was just thinking, well, maybe it'll turn up somewhere on the floor again, but I couldn't find it. So I went back to it, and then soon after that, I actually was looking down here when I was putting on one of these decals or decals, and I saw the lift hook just jutting out of the edge of the mantle here, so I knew I had found it. So what I thought was I'd be able to take it out with like an adapted safety pin, but I ended up just pushing it further in, so it's in there somewhere. And I tried everything I could to get the lift hook out of the mantlet, but I tried guitar wire, I tried everything, but nothing worked. So so basically, the only thing to do is to take the turret off and try and take apart the mantlet, and then it'll be there. So what I'm going to do, so I found a video on YouTube, very helpful video on how to at least take off the hull, and there was another video that showed how to take off the turret, and it just involves keeping track of screws, and that's what I'm going to do. So let's see, so we'll try that. So let's put this on its side and take off the 4 screws for the detaching the upper hull. So let's this is the first one. Just keep track of these. I picked up a tip on one of the videos that a lot of these screws are going into plastic, so you kind of don't want to screw them in too tightly, because that will probably wreck the threads on the plastic. So you just have to not be too forceful when you're putting the screws back in. So I'll just take these off. You really want a magnetic screwdriver to kind of take out these screws, so just let's lose them. Okay, that's number 2. That goes there. So an important part of this is keeping track of the screws, as I mentioned, and I've just got a assortment of various pastry packets and things to put these into. I even made a little thing out of a box with cardboard to put some of these in, so you can figure out your own way of keeping track of the screws. And so I'll just try and take this one out now. Just it's not going to be, yes, it is, that one there. Okay, so one of the things I discovered in the video about taking the turret off is that it can get very tricky, and there's a lot of cables that join the electronics and the mechanisms of the turret to the body of the lower part of the hull. So all of these things are connected with jumper cables, and there's a lot of wires. And what I'm actually hoping to do is to succeed in taking off the turret without disconnecting any of those wires. So that's just probably stuck there because Okay, so that's the 4 of those off. So we'll see how well this goes. So let's just try something. So we'll put this on its side, possibly. Okay, so there's all the wires. So the theory is I'm going to try and take off this turret using the approach I saw in that video, and let's see how well this goes. I don't want to detach any of these. It might be possible to do this without taking out those jumpers, so I prefer that. Okay, that goes in this one. So we go, my rule for remembering which screws, I'll say the far screws go in the leftmost part of my makeshift organizer for the screws. So okay, so this is all coming apart now. So that screw goes, well, maybe we'll leave that there actually. No, actually we won't. We'll take that out in case it pops off somewhere. So it comes out of there. Now I have to remember that thing goes around, so we want to not forget which way it goes. So okay, so this is looking like it's going to be difficult, but let's keep going. So now I have to take out these 6 screws on the turret. Sorry, take it 6 screws on the turret, and remember where they go. So let's see if I can manage to keep the magnet on this. I'll go into one of those. Okay. Okay. That's what you don't want to do. Luckily, that didn't cause too much of a panic. So I think one of the screws dropped there. Yes, it did. Get out. And that'll go there. That's number 2. And then that's 2 out. 2 front, 2 out. And we'll take the middle 2 out. Okay, so always careful with the plastic and the these things here. So that'll go, say, there. And this one. Okay. So I'm conscious of not pulling any of the cables so that I don't damage anything. Last 2 now. Back 2. And when you take those back 2 off, that's still there. I also don't want to scratch any of the decals or decals, I don't know how you pronounce that, because you should really only push the decals on when everything's finished, but I just wanted to test it out. Okay, last one. Okay, I think the trick with unscrewing a screw that's been in the slot for ages is that you don't turn the screwdriver too quickly at the start, and you don't have to force it as much. So yeah, so this will come off now with a little bit of yeah, it comes off. Okay, so we're getting close to this turret now. Apparently this is can become tricky, so I have to take off that entire white piece of plastic. That's what secures Let's see that though. Yeah, that's maybe just that screw and that one. I'll take this white thing off. So let's see. Let's put this back on top here and try and get at this. Okay, this one here. Let's undo that. Okay. Doesn't matter if it's gone inside because we can get in the inside there. Oh, do you know what? I've just found it. It's inside. So now I'm going to be careful getting this out. So I have a little. So there's no need to get the rest of the turret apart because I found it. Somehow it got inside here, right in the middle of the tank. Maybe it fell out when I was doing all that movement on the turret. That's it. Okay, so there's the little piece. So we didn't need to go into the rest of the turret. It seems to be it was just right there. So anyway, I don't know, probably fell inside somehow. I don't know how it got in there, but anyway, I got it. It might have been in the mantlet, but I don't know how it could have got in there. But maybe it fell out as I was moving this. So that's a success. And there's no need to keep going with this turret, which I really didn't like the idea of completing, taking all that stuff off, because it's very complicated and I mean, it's doable, but I'd rather not have to remember all the sequences of putting things on. So I'm going to put this all together again now. I'll fast forward to the end in this video just to make sure that the tank's still working, but that's it. Okay, so I've reassembled the tank. It wasn't too difficult because I didn't have to reassemble all of the internal mechanisms of the turret. I just happened to find the little lift hook, which I still have here in the hull. I noticed it there, so I prized it out, picked it out with the tweezers or pliers, and so now I just need to make sure that this actually still works, and I didn't disconnect anything by accident. So let's see, this should make the lights at least come on. We get the remote control here, and we will turn it on. Okay, that's a good sign. Everything seems to be okay. Turn on the tank. Still turns on. Let's go forward. Yes, it does. Backwards. Turn right. Turn left. Turret goes up. Turret goes down. Or barrel. Howitzer. That goes left. Turret goes right. So I think this is looking good. So let's turn off the tank, and it seems to have been a success to get that little part. So now what I'm going to do straight away is to glue this on where it should go there. And same with anything else that's a little bit loose. Sometimes the parts are a little bit, some of them snap in very nicely, but for example this axe here doesn't really stay on, so I'm going to glue that on. And so that's it. Thank you for watching.